It's January 15th, 2026. Oh boy. Dreamed about Tuck last night. It was good. It was a really good dream. So when he was alive, he couldn't walk. And I carried him. He could crawl, but his knees and his hips were deformed. So he was never able to walk on his own. I would carry him. I would hold him up so he could feel like he was walking. You know. And he had a wheelchair. He didn't like the wheelchair very much. He liked to be as independent as he could. But anyway, in my dream, at first he was in his purple pajamas and I was carrying him. And he looked like how I remember him. And then he started to talk. His legs grew long. And he looked different. He was about as tall as Braytac, with curly hair. He always had curly hair, but we had to keep it short because he was always having those tests where they glue stuff to your head. And longer hair, it would pull. So we kept his hair pretty short, especially towards the end when he was having more and more of those tests. But in my dream, it was about this long and curly, really curly, like Ronan's hair, but darker. And he was about as tall as Braytac, but he had the same eyes. He had Tilk's eyes. And I was still carrying him. He was still wearing his jammies. And he said, "Mom, I can walk now. You don't need to carry me." I said, "I'm not going to let go." And he said, "Okay." And we talked. We talked about many things. But what I remember most is him telling me, "This is what I look like now." And I said, because in the dream, I hadn't realized yet that I was dreaming. And I said, "Can everybody see you?" And he said, "No, just you." I said, "So I look like a crazy person talking to nobody." Oh, why am I doing this first? I need to do my eyes. I'm discombobulated. And he said, "Well, if you were awake, yeah, you'd probably look crazy." He said, "But I come to visit you because you need me the most." And he told me he was proud of me. I told him how much I miss him. And then his outfit changed at some point, and he was wearing a hoodie and baggy jeans instead of his jammies. He said, "I usually visit you looking like how I used to. You remember me because it comforts you. But this is what I look like now. This is what I would have looked like if I was not sick." It was so beautiful. So healthy and strong. And I kept trying to carry him. I was still trying to carry him. And he says, "Mom, you don't need to carry me. My legs work now." I've dreamed of him almost every night since I got sick. Most of the dreams are just kind of an echo of what our normal life used to be. Taking care of him, holding him, carrying him, feeding him. This dream was different. I said, "Please keep visiting me." I don't know if dreams are a gateway to the other side, like, but I want to believe that that's really him in my dreams. I just miss him so much. It's hard to do my makeup while I'm crying. I've always wondered what he would have looked like if he had been healthy. He was so beautiful. Even the way he was with his broken body, he was so beautiful. It's hard to imagine him different. But seeing him like that in that dream was everything. And then at some point, he said that he needed to go. And I asked him, I was like, please stay. He goes, Mom, you can't stay in this dream forever. I told him I love him. I'm proud of him. And then in my dream, one of the kids called my name, and I turned around. And when I turned back, he was gone. And then after that, the dream just kind of fell apart and got moved. It was a good dream. It was comforting. It was healing. It seems like this is up too high. Anyway, back to reality. I've lost my workout room completely at this point. It's now completely just taken over with Rob's stuff. Can't use my exercise equipment. Can't, like, do anything I had intended to do in that room. And our city had a water main break behind the gym. So we also haven't been able to use the gym. There's no bathroom, there's no running water. I think they got it fixed now, but this week has been difficult. So I haven't gotten very good workouts at the gym this week. So I moved my weights back into the house. Something I didn't want to have to do. And then I worked out inside last night. One of the frustrating things about the gym here in town, it's expensive for one. And certain times of the day, there's too many people in there and you don't actually get to use anything. If I go too early in the morning, I run into this guy and his wife. They're professional lifters, and they just they set up the entire gym for themselves and max out everything, and you just can't get in there. There's no space. There's no space to do anything but cardio. If you go at the wrong time in the late morning or early afternoon, you run into the older people who use the cardio machines. So you can only do lifting. You can't get onto the cardio machines. And if you go too late in the afternoon or the evening, you run into the high schoolers, and the high schoolers are just using everything. So there's no space, you can't do cardio or weights or anything. There's nothing. So it's really hard to time it. And this week, sometimes I'm able to get there just at the right time. But this week my schedule's been off, so I haven't been able to. It's really frustrating. I'm trying really hard not to open up social media a whole lot. Because every time I do, I just see all the terrible things happening in my country. Especially the state I live in. It's like, it's so terrifying. And it just doesn't let up. It's just worse every day. And I keep wondering, am I going to wake up tomorrow and we're not going to have a country? Like some of the most ridiculous things going on that it doesn't make any sense. It's like all our laws and constitution and human rights are just being thrown out. I'm all powerless. It's all just scary. Really, really scary. We just keep trying to live life as normal as possible and hope for the best. Not really knowing what the next day is gonna bring. You know? It's so difficult to watch. Not knowing. Just trying to live a normal life. Trying not to let fear take hold. It's so sad seeing. I mean, it feels like when the Bible said the love of most will grow cold. That's what it feels like. So people have forgotten how to be kind. People have forgotten how to love their neighbors. People are grouping up into these tight little, oh, if you don't look like me, if you don't think like me, if you don't act like me, you can't be my friend, sort of thing. You've lost something. Seems like most of the world has lost their humanity. People don't seem to realize there are no sides. The cognitive dissonance of people when they see something that directly conflicts with what they want their worldview to be. So they just double down and say, well, that person must have deserved it. They really think it won't happen to them. As long as they side with the right faction. But there is no right faction. There's just people being evil to each other. Jesus said to love your neighbor. And when asked who your neighbor was, he said everybody. Everybody's your neighbor. Jesus also said to love your enemies, to treat them with kindness. But a lot of these people perpetuating these awful things call themselves Christians, and they've entirely missed the plot. They don't act like Jesus. Not even close. Both sides are just obsessed with one political leader or another. And then when somebody disagrees with them, they just call names. And, oh, well, you disagree with me, so you must be for them, so I hate you, you know? It's awful. You can't have a conversation with anybody anymore. The things that people that I used to have hope for just say. It's like everybody's just letting their darkest desires and feelings fly. And I don't understand this world anymore. I don't understand what happened to civil discourse. I don't understand what happened to human rights, to justice, to safety. I don't understand what happened. How did we get here? How did the world become so cold, so angry, so hateful? How do we get back to a place where people treated their neighbors and strangers and family and friends and everyone with kindness? How do we get back there? Or did it ever exist to begin with? I've done my best to create that love and peace and togetherness in my own neighborhood. It's just so painful watching people tear each other apart. And the joy they get out of it. Like, what do you really gain being mean to somebody on the internet or face to face? What do you really gain from that? It just spoils your own soul. You lose your humanity. And it's truly sad. Watching that unfold, I just have to step away from the social media and try not to scroll through it because it's so bad, it's so scary, and it's so real. I mean, it's happening really close to where I live, and it's scary. I just don't understand how people can dehumanize somebody, entire groups of people, just because they hate it. It hurts. I hope by the time this video comes out at the end of August that things have settled down and people are being peaceful again. But right now that looks unlikely. I'm scared that 2026 is going to be the year of great loss. I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, I hope this video finds you well. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. And I hope the world is in a much better state of mind by the time you see this. I'll see you all soon.